We all know someone who constantly lands the best job offers or randomly meets the exact right person. It looks like magic. But when you watch them closely, the way they navigate the world isn't an accident. To replicate their results, we have to separate fortune from luck. Fortune covers the things you cannot control, where you were born or the timing of an economic downturn. Luck is your proactive behavioral response to that fortune. It is what you do with the cards you were dealt. We're going to build a system to capture that proactive behavior right now. Pause the video and grab a physical notebook, a pen, and open the calendar app on your phone. By the end of this session, you will have a personalized, actionable plan based on decades of psychological research, because luck is a trainable skill, and you are about to learn the mechanics. Step 1 is expanding your luck surface area. Open your notebook and write Luck Diary at the top of the first blank page.
British psychologist Richard Wiseman ran an experiment where he asked self-described lucky and unlucky people to count the photographs in a newspaper. The unlucky people took minutes, the lucky people took seconds. They succeeded rapidly because they noticed a massive block of text on the second page telling them to stop counting. The unlucky people were so focused on the narrow task that they missed the obvious answer right in front of them. To fix that narrow focus, you need to train your brain to notice peripheral opportunities. Your first daily task is to write down 3 highly specific, positive micro-events every single night. A good cup of coffee, an interesting comment from a stranger, or a helpful email. This is a mechanical data logging exercise, not an emotional gratitude journal. You are giving your brain a daily directive on what data to prioritize, forcing your neurological systems to constantly scan your environment for positive openings. Now, open your calendar app.
Create a permanent, recurring weekly event and title it Week Tie Outreach. In 1973, sociologist Mark Granovetter mapped exactly how professionals actually secure jobs. He assumed tight-knit families and close friends drove the best leads. The data showed the exact opposite. Look at this diagram comparing 2 types of networks. The dense cluster represents your close friends. They share your exact environment, meaning they see the exact same opportunities you do. Over 80% of people actually find jobs through the long, sprawling threads on the right. They're weak ties. These are old coworkers or distant acquaintances. When your calendar alarm goes off every week, you have one simple job. Pick one dormant contact and send one low-pressure message to check in. By pinging one weak tie every week, you maintain active bridges to entirely different industries and social circles. This ensures you have a continuous flow of distinct outside opportunities entering your network. For step 3, grab a physical sticky note, write 60 seconds on it in large letters, and place it directly on your computer monitor or workspace. This note is your trigger to act on instinct. Your gut instinct is your unconscious brain instantly recognizing complex patterns from past experiences. It processes environmental data much faster than your conscious, rational mind. People who identify as unlucky frequently sabotage themselves right here. They feel a sudden urge to speak to someone at an event or follow up on a curious detail, but they pause to overanalyze it. By the time they rationally justify taking action, the window has closed. The sticky note enforces a strict behavioral boundary. When you register a positive gut signal, you have exactly 60 seconds to initiate action before your analytical brain is allowed to interfere. Send the email or start the conversation immediately. Step 4 requires adding the phrase "expect success" to your notebook. Then choose a physical object you interact with daily, like the handle of your office door, to serve as an activation cue. This connects to a 1968 Harvard study known as the Pygmalion experiment. Researchers told teachers that certain randomly selected students were highly gifted late bloomers. By the end of the year, those specific students measurably outperformed their peers. The teachers' expectations dictated how much attention and challenging work they gave those students. You can apply this same mechanism to yourself. When you walk into a meeting or an interview and actively assume it will go well, your physical posture improves. You make steadier eye contact and take calculated conversational risks. Your pre-event expectation drives your physical behavior, and that behavior shapes the outcome. Touching that door handle reminds you to consciously set a positive expectation, initiating a self-fulfilling loop. Finally, write one diagnostic question in bold at the absolute bottom of your page. How could this have been worse? When a project fails or an injury happens, unlucky people immediately compare their situation to a perfect, flawless timeline. Lucky people actively compare their current reality to a catastrophic alternative. The protocol is strict. When you encounter a negative event, you are not allowed to complain until you have explicitly listed 3 specific ways the situation could have played out much worse. This immediate comparative technique halts the downward spiral of frustration. It forces a cognitive reset, giving you the psychological resilience needed to spot the next opportunity instead of obsessing over the setback. Look at your notebook and your calendar app. You now possess a completed 5-part physical action plan. Do not try to implement all 5 of these behaviors tomorrow morning. Behavioral overload leads directly to burnout, and the system only works if it becomes permanent. Review the list and select exactly one mechanism. Choose the single habit that makes the most sense for your current routine, and execute that one specific task before you go to sleep tonight. We cannot control the external events the world throws at us, but by methodically following this system, you ensure you have built the exact conditions necessary to capture luck the moment it arrives.